Welcome to Catch Me If You Can on World Radio WMET 1160 and online at WMET1160.com. Catch Me If You Can is the dating show that cuts to the chase. Here are your hosts, Janine Driver and Ritchie Olivieri.
Woo! Hello, everybody. I'm Janine Driver.
Show. Go ahead.
Ritchie, how are you today?
Good, Janine.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. This is our grand opening show. I'm Janine Driver, your host, and my partner in crime over there, Ritchie Olivieri.
That's right, the grand opening, everything half off, right? We're gonna get ready to fly. We've got a great show planned for today, and I am so excited.
Yeah, actually, if people call in with one question, they'll get two responses today. So that's
one
the kind
from you,
of show.
one from me.
You got that right.
Right.
We're also joined here with our intern, Liat. How you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Woo, look at that. We got a little sound effect for you, my hot, sexy intern. I'm glad that you're here, Liat.
Thank you.
Today, our topic is, Ritchie, as you know, 3 simple ways to avoid another dating disaster.
One simple way to avoid would probably be just to stay home and lock yourself in your room with pizza the way I do.
How many times have you been trapped on a date where you're like, how do I get out? Has it happened? It's happened.
I've actually been lucky because I've had a girlfriend now for the past 5 years, so my dating days are kind of over. I have had bad dates with my current girlfriend at times, but that's, I guess, a topic for a different day.
Oh, well, I'll tell you a little story I had. I used to live in Hartford, Connecticut for a little while, and I went on this date, and while I was there, the guy was critiquing me, and he goes, hey, your eyes just went to the right, so I know what you're telling me right now is lying. You're lying.
He said that to you right out of the gate?
First of all, this is called neurolinguistic programming. That does not even work. This looking to the right, that you're lying, that's untrue. So we have this little debate. He goes, your grammar is incorrect. Right. So I'm like, yeah, my college went out of business 2 years after I graduated.
Oh, wow. So it's safe to say he went home by himself, didn't get lucky, showed him the door.
We were at a Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and we ordered the big steaks. It was going to be a big, huge meal, and I excused myself, went to the bathroom, went out through the kitchen.
Are you serious? You just ditched him there?
No, it was like a movie. I went through the kitchen. I'm like high-fiving the cooks. I'm like, yeah, blowing off the date.
Did he ever call you after that? Say, hey, what the hell?
No, and luckily I only lived across the street, but it was like a main highway, so I'm like running as fast as I could because I didn't want him to catch up with me and say, your grammar is bad and you are rude. So I took off.
Is that the worst date you've ever been on? Is that bad?
I would say sorry. I guess a little technical difficulty. This is what we're talking about: technical difficulty on a date and a technical difficulty here on the radio show. That happens. But you know what? Ritchie just asked me. I'm Janine Driver. You listen to WMET. Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts the chase. I was trapped. I snuck through the kitchen, disappeared on this guy, ran home.
Did you at least finish the meal?
I did not finish the meal. As a matter of fact, that was part of the plan.
You should have run before the bill.
Yeah, I did. Well, I ran before the bill, but I had already placed the order for the steak. So you got to wait till you place the order if you want to smoke someone. I could have left before I even ordered, and then, what's the fun in that, people? So we're going to come up with solutions here today on how to get out of a dating disaster. Or actually, we're going to have a woman here. She's a success coach named Margarita Rosenfeld. She's coming up after a commercial break in a little bit. And she's going to be chatting about not only how to get out of them, but how to not get in them in the first place. So we'll see how that goes. Have you guys ever had a life coach, Liat?
No, not yet.
You've not? Have you heard of life coaching?
Yes, I have. They're becoming very popular, actually.
They are. It's a big, huge hit. I'll tell you that right now.
Is there a big difference between psychologists and life coaching, you think?
We'll have to ask Margarita that when she comes on and see what she has to say.
I can't wait to hear
how she can help people out. I am married. I'm pretty much a newlywed. I was married last November, and
you have a baby as well, right?
I do have an 8-month-old baby, and now my whole world has changed. These dating disasters. I'm kind of like Ritchie. I've got bad marriage moments. You know?
Yeah, that's what, I'm really glad that I do have a girlfriend, so I don't have to go through the Ruth Chris Steakhouse scene where I have to slip out the back to avoid some crazy woman.
I'm the only one representing the single community.
Yeah, you are. But we're gonna make sure we put an end to that before this show is said and done. We're gonna find you a man. We're gonna give you all the tips. You're gonna be an expert by the time we're done with you.
That's a lot of pressure.
As a matter of fact, if people want to find out more about our show, Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase, you can visit trytocatchme.com. It's live today. It went up this morning. Trytocatchme.com has all kinds of different contests and shows, and we'll be sure to post a picture of you, Liat, on there, so the DC, Northern Virginia, Maryland guys can check you out. So
I'm not wearing a good outfit.
Oh no!
That's right. And if anybody wants to call in and talk to either Liat, Janine, or myself, just give us a call right here at 866-369-1160. And if you want to listen to the show, you don't have to necessarily always listen to it on the radio. You can catch us on the internets at WMET1160.com.
Oh, Ritchie, good job. I'm going to round of applause.
Right?
Yeah, good boy. I love it. This is Catch Me If You Can. Yay. Woo. We're on fire here today, people. I'm thrilled that you're tuning in. I'm psyched. I hope that you're going to get everything that we want to give you today, which is 3 simple ways to avoid another dating disaster. And if you are stuck on one, Ritchie, we're going to have tips on how do you get out of there.
That's good, because I'll probably be dating soon because my current girlfriend's from New Jersey, so I'm technically single here in Washington. So so there may be some dating going on pretty soon as I'm getting an IM telling me to shut up.
By your girlfriend?
Yes.
That's so funny. As a matter of fact, you can send us an email, right? What's the email address? Did you shut that out?
The email address is, I did not shout that out, but you can go on to WMET1160.com and drop
shoot
us
an
emails
email
from
that
there.
way.
Yeah.
All right, great. And we'll get Liat up there by next week. Actually, on our website, trytocatchme.com, we have a spot on there where we're going to have like the Brady Bunch squares.
Right.
And you'll see each of us. I'll kind of be in the middle, and Ritchie will be there, and you'll see the whole team. We'll be looking at each other, and it's going to be fantastic. You'll click on it.
It'll have a real 70s feel to it, right? Is that how it's going to be? Very retro. Maybe I should bring in like my big afro. Remember on when Jan had that big afro? I actually have one, so I'll bring it in.
Well,
and we'll take
that's why I wore mine today. And
is that,
for the big
that's
show.
not natural?
Yeah, no, this is not natural.
In fact,
this is not natural. It's a wig. And whoa, look, our production guy back there.
Matt Lynch, our engineer, just threw on the afro, and he does look very Jan-esque, if you will.
Well, the beautiful thing I like about that are the curlers, because everyone wears blue curlers in an afro, right?
And they should. It looks very natural, Matt. Well done.
Oh, gee, yeah. I've never had someone pick me up with an afro on, at least not a wig. I will tell you a funny thing, though, on a date. I don't know if it was a dating disaster for me, but I think it was a dating disaster for the guy that was picking me up. I did stand-up comedy. I've done it for years with Robin Williams, Chris Rock. I've been all over the country. And when I was out in Seattle, Washington, a guy was picking me up. I have a wall of different headshots of famous people, right? Ray Romano, Chris Rock. And as you walk down this long hallway, there were like 7 pictures of famous people. Brett Butler. All these different people. Well, before the date picked me up, I filled up the 10 different picture frames with all pictures of me.
In different poses?
No, it's the same exact picture of me.
Oh, wow.
In 10 frames.
So more or less this guy walks in and goes, is somebody full of theirself in here, or is it just me?
And I played it off like it's always like that. I'm like, yeah, I thought it was a good shot. So, I have a couple up there.
What doesn't belong here? There's one picture of Chris Rock, 9 of Janine Driver.
So,
and why does Janine have an afro on?
Well, from there, it just went downhill for that guy. Sometimes it's kind of fun to, play around with your date.
Long story short, he slipped out the back of your kitchen, right?
Yeah, right. You're funny. Well, that is a technique, though, Ritchie. Not only slipping out through the kitchen and disappearing, but if one guy is really wacko, if your partner that you're on the date with is kind of crazy, and we'll have to see if Margarita agrees with this later, but if one person is a little crazy, you trump them with your craziness.
Right. So basically, if he walks in and you feel like he's crazy, like he's foaming at the mouth, you just counter it by like just kind of wigging out on him.
Yeah, you can be like, I like cookies.
Yeah, just that random stuff out of nowhere.
How do you feel about plastics?
I like peanut butter. Yeah, that's it. Whenever you go, you've assured the person on the other side of you that you are indeed crazy.
That's so funny.
So what are we going to do after the break into the next segment, Janine?
Well, what we're going to find out, we're going to talk with Margarita Rosenfeld, who's a success coach, and she's a dating expert. From what I understand, Northern Virginia Magazine just voted her as a sexy single here in the D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland area. So I'm interested to find out about that. And she's going to share with us, listeners, what should being single people, if you're single, what should you be looking for in another person? And also, if you are with the wrong person, what to do when you are with them, how not to get into that relationship.
866-369-1160, WMET 1160's hot new show. Catch me if you can. Call us again at 866-369-1160 or catch us on the website trytocatchme.com or WMET1160.com. Ritchie, Olivieri, and Janine Driver coming back right after this break.
Oh, yeah. Or is it in his face? Oh, no, it's just his charm in his one embrace. Oh.
It's a jungle out there with a lot of lion going on.
I'm Janine Driver, the lion tamer. My seminar teaches you to observe body language to ferret out the lies. For instance, a customer may say,
I'll get back to you the moment I get into the office tomorrow.
If you observe his body language, you'll know he's really saying,
I'll get back to you when the first pig is seen flying.
Your ears may hear,
Call me this afternoon to make an appointment.
But your eyes may hear,
This afternoon I'll be on a jet to Pango. Let the lion tamer teach Teach your employees how to survive all the lion that goes on in the jungle. This is a fun, fast-paced training experience that Tony Snow from Fox News calls a force of nature. Jay Schulman from Builder's First Choice says the Lion Tamer is better than American Idol. Increase sales, motivate your employees, and learn skills you can use in business and your private life.
You're the kind of woman I'd like to get to know better. You're the kind of chick I'd like to take to a motel for a few hours.
Visit online at liontamer.com. That's LYIN Tamer.com.
I'll show you how to tame that lion.
Do you know that the average family has over $8,000 in credit card debt and that bankruptcies are at an all-time high in our country? But do you also know that the government has programs that you could use to pay your bills and to get out of debt? I'm Matthew Lesko, and I bet you don't know that you can get $4,000 to pay your rent or mortgage, $700 to pay your utility bills, auto repair bills, or even money to pay your credit card bills. It's incredible, but it's true. There are government programs that will give you like $30,000 to pay your health care, education, or home repair bills. Some of these programs even millionaires can apply for. My book identifies over 4,000 government programs you could use to pay your bills. It's only $37.95, and you get 2 special reports, how to get yourself out of debt and how to stop bill collector harassment. It's time you stop worrying about your bills.
Call 1-800-498-9889. Call now. You have Lesko's guarantee of satisfaction or return the book, no questions asked. 1-800-498-9889.
You and your car have a special relationship. You depend on it. Edwards Auto Service Center in Springfield has been providing quality service and Goodyear tires for years. Northern Virginians depend on Edwards. You probably even dropped by their old location in Alexandria. Tommy Morgan and Edwards Auto Service look forward to taking care of your auto needs at their Springfield location. The same unbeatable Goodyear tires and quality service you expect from Edwards Auto Service. Edwards Auto Service Center in Springfield on Backlick Road and in Woodbridge on Route 1 across from Marumsco Plaza.
I tell you what, it's Grease Mania here at WMET. Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. and Sunday 10 a.m. till noon. It's more of me, the king of Hobbledoogie. Yeah, if you missed anything during the week, catch up on it on the weekend. All the topicality, the bits, the zesty phone calls, it's all right here. While you're doing your weekend chores, while you're relaxing, while you kick it back, you can kick back with me, the Grease Man, at 1160 WMET.
Welcome back to Catch Me If You Can on World Radio, WMET 1160, and online at WMET1160.com. Here once again are your hosts, Janine Driver and Ritchie Olivieri.
Wow, it's clear who picked the music this week. Janine, it sure wasn't me.
I love it. I want to dance up a storm here. When I got married, we had a 21-piece orchestra there. No fooling around, Ritchie Olivieri. Yeah? We do it right in the Lion Tamer household.
Right. No chance of playing like any Led Zeppelin or The Who or anything like that.
Or Pink Floyd? Yeah.
Pink Floyd.
No,
we'll stick with the standards here.
So 80s. Okay, today you're listening to Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. We're so happy that you're here. If you want to find out more about our show, you can visit trytocatchme.com. We've got a blog on there. We've got all kinds of fun little treats, including a big contest we're going to talk about later. We can win a trip to Vegas or to Orlando, Florida.
Oh, am I eligible for that? I am in for that.
Double date, blind date destinations. Yeah, try to say that 10 times fast. I don't think I can.
Try to say it once.
I can't say it once, actually. Thank God. Hooks on phonics.
Hooked on phonics.
Thank you. Yeah, evidently it didn't work for me.
Try to say that one once.
Yeah, didn't work for me, people. Janine Driver, your host. Yeah, that's Ritchie Olivieri over there chiming in. Today, we're just accompanied by a life coach here. She's fantastic. I've actually met her in a class of mine on internet date. No, not on internet dating, on how to have a date 6 nights a week. And she ended up leaving there with enough dates for more than a date 6 nights a week. This woman had numbers.
3-4 a night, right? I think it was.
Don't say anything. Nobody can prove it. My boyfriend is listening. It was nothing. She's just totally lying. She's a lion tamer, and so she makes it sound really easy. There were no dates at all.
That is the voice of Margarita. See, I don't pronounce the R because we're from Boston,
right.
So, originally. So Margarita Rosenfeld, and I'm dying to find out about what she does as a life coach. I have not yet taken a class, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I may be taking a class of hers this month, so you'll get to meet me, the Lion Tamer, the host of Catch Me If You Can, at Margarita's class. She has the websites if you want to check her out as she's chit-chatting. It's Of Essence, OFESSENCE, of essence.com, and yescircle.org. I'm done. What's this Yes Circle?
Does she have a picture
about?
of herself up there? Because I think the audience should see what we're looking at here.
She is adorable. She's adorable. And she's from Russia. Are you from Russia?
I am actually from Ukraine.
Oh, really? Ukraine. Wow. What street?
You wouldn't know. We wouldn't have met each other there, no.
Because I thought you looked familiar.
I avoid that street at all
What
costs.
exit?
Were you on Main Street in Ukraine one day?
You guys laugh. I said I was originally from Boston at a comedy show once in West Virginia, and a guy screamed out, "Go Boston!" I go, "You from Boston, sir?" He said, "No, my uncle is." I go, "What part of Boston is your uncle from?" He said, "Providence, Rhode Island." Yeah. So you'd be surprised.
Well, up that way, Rhode Island technically is part of Boston, right?
No, simmer down now, Ritchie Olivieri.
Wow.
So here we go. So Margarita, I'm glad that you're here today because what we're talking about are these dates that you get stuck on. You don't know how to get out of there, or how did we get stuck with them in the first place? How did we end up like dating the wrong person? So what I want to know from you is what should single? Actually, tell me a little bit about what you do first. Let's start there.
Oh, that's a good question, Janine. Well, for a while there, I had a lot of those dates that you talked about where you sneak out of the back kitchen or put the pictures up to scare them away. So
Yeah.
I did that for a long time. But professionally, what I do is I help people figure out what it is that they want to do when they grow up. What is their big picture vision and how can they get there? So it's a kind of a little bit of visualizing, a little bit of planning, and it's very practical, very proactive, and really fun. It's a way to figure out, where you're going and how do you want to get there.
No, when you say you want to help people figure out what they want to be when they grow up, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're talking to a young person, right? Because there are people who are older who want to change direction and change career and stuff like that. You can help them with that?
She can help people with just tying your shoelaces, is what I understand.
Oh, is that true?
Are you making fun of my bio? In my bio, I say that I'm a recovering overachiever and that when I was in first grade, or when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I don't know, how old are you when you learn how to tie your shoelaces?
I was 27.
20. Thank you.
Well, sometimes you relearn it and have to grasp back. But back then, I was really smart.
There we go. Our drum roll is actually on West Coast time, so it's like 3 minutes behind the actual joke. So bear with us.
That's all right. That's how my brain works too. 3 minutes behind. I'll be laughing at my own joke.
But she said on the website, right, that she taught people. She's an overachiever at the age of 4 on how to tie their shoelaces.
Mm-hmm.
She excelled.
I was the first kid in my class to learn how to tie my shoelaces, but I'm still learning how to speak. So.
Okay. Well, did you ever know that you're my hero?
Everything that you always wanted to be.
Did you ever know that you're
You know something? I feel like I should step out of the room and maybe leave you two guys alone. Maybe
catch me if you can.
Hey, Matt.
Karaoke.
I'm trying to audition for the next
music back
spot.
on.
I will not be singing because I would like to get clients eventually one day.
Yeah, you be professional. We'll be the
I don't
ones
want
that
to scare them away.
We're out of control.
You be funny, I'll be me.
Okay, you are sexy, helpful to our listeners, and that's what we want because you're listening to Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase over here at WMET. If you want to give us a call and talk to Margarita or talk to us, it's 866-369-1160, 866-369-1160. Margarita, bear with me because I keep dropping my R's. Now, so you help people, you want to teach them how to have a life that they love, and am I right on that? And kind of be productive and follow this path?
I work with a lot of creative people, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I work with some people who are in career transition, but most of the time it's people who are up to really big things and are innovative and creative, and so it's a lot of fun for me to do that.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to Ritchie hear if she's got some good tips for us.
I want to hear.
Oh, all this pressure.
Okay, so let's start off with what should single people consider before looking at a mate? What's the first thing they should consider before we even get stuck in this date where you got to sneak out the back of the restaurant?
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to consider to look at is really at yourself. I mean, if so many people go into dating and they look at it as a way to fulfill a part of themselves that they don't feel, or that they look for somebody to supplement their life or make them happy, and you really can't do that. I think that the primary thing you need to do is figure out how can you make yourself happy.
Okay.
And only then I feel like you can really, go into it as a full partner.
Right, 'cause it's like that old saying is, you can't truly make somebody else happy until you're happy with yourself.
Yeah, but say I'm sitting at home and I'm stuck, Ritchie, and I'm like, okay, I got it. So I need to make myself happy. Do I look into like this mirror and say, oh, wise mirror, like how do I go about doing it? If someone's sitting at home, they say, listen, I think I'm a catch. I am a little bit miserable.
Everybody thinks they're a catch.
I'm a little miserable. I'm kind of stuck on my ex, or I complain a lot, and I'm sick of complaining. How do they look at themselves and take themselves to a place where they're ready to go into a relationship? Is there an exercise they can do? Or
there are many, many exercises they can do. I think the first thing is, though, if you're sitting there and you're looking at the ceiling and you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, what can I do to make myself happy? You have to get out. I mean, you cannot not only meet the right person by sitting in your four walls, you can't even meet other people who can enrich your life. And the way I look at dating is not a way to fill the part of yourself that's missing, but it's a way to get out there and have fun and figure out what is it that you want. It's almost like if you're going into it attached, like this person is going to be the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and then you end up with somebody you have to sneak out of the back door, and then you think to yourself, well, that was the worst day of my life. How could I do this? Mm-hmm. And if you look at it as, wow, that was a fun story. One day I'm going to tell it on the radio show.
Right.
I mean, how much more fun can that become? And then you get to learn what you don't want.
Right. Now, Liat, do you have a question? Or?
Yeah, I do. I actually just graduated from college and pretty confused myself. And I was just wondering if dating can kind of interfere with one's wanting to pursue life career.
Well, I think that's a great question, Leah. I think that it's not so much that it can interfere. It's all about the attitude that you go into it with. If you go into it looking at, I'm going to meet some great people, I'm going to get to know some wonderful people, I'm going to have fun, I might write a book about what not to do when I'm dating, and then you go into it without expectations of, I have to be a perfect person and the person I'm with has to be perfect for me, then it's a whole nother experience. And then you actually get to learn what works for you, what doesn't, and how to balance your life.
I see.
With your work.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here, Margarita, because I really feel like you're going to help our listeners here at Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. And you're cutting to the chase. You're giving us real life examples to help our listeners really make a change and make a difference. Last night I taught a class here in D.C. over at a place called First Class, and I know that you teach there as well. And you're not going to believe it, but two people came in, a man and a woman from New York City. They drove down from New York City to take this class on body language that I teach. 6 hours they said it took. They thought it would take 4. 6 hours. They rented a hotel somewhere out in Falls Church, and they were driving back at 6 o'clock this morning.
Well, you see, you're so popular. No wonder you have the 10 pictures of yourself in your hallway.
Yeah, I love me, people. No, it has nothing
and
to
you
do.
should.
But it's my point is, it was a class on just body language. It wasn't a dating class. So when you say go out, I don't want people thinking they have to get on the internet or they have to go do a speed date or they have to go out to a dating event. When you say go out, you're meaning go to a class like I had last night, body language. You have coaching classes. I know that they could, even if they don't want to be a coach, they can go and learn more about coaching. Am I right on that?
I think that is the perfect point. So many times we think that we need to date in order to feel like, oh, look at me, I'm worthy of this, or I'm so great, and we look for that outside validation. And we don't actually explore our own interests. We just sort of go from thing to thing thinking, okay, I'm going to go to this event, and this is how many people I'm going to meet. Right. Whereas if you go around and pursue your own interests, then you don't have to worry about who you're going to meet.
Because you're still having fun.
You're still having fun. You get to meet your life. Some of my best friends I've met for professional events and some of the things I've gone to because they were fun for me, not because I was trying to meet somebody else.
Okay, cool.
866-369-1160. We're talking to success coach Margarita Rosenfeld. Margarita, one quick question. How can you tell when the person that you're with is indeed the wrong person? What are some of the signs?
That's a good question.
Maybe you can catch that before you end up at Ruth Chris running out the back.
That's a good question, Ritchie. Margarita?
That is a great question.
Sorry, I keep saying Margarita.
That's okay if it makes you happy.
It's dramatic. I'm sorry. I'm a drama
happy.
queen.
Whatever makes you happy, Janine. Well, I think that you get to see who's the wrong person for you by the way that you feel with them. I think that the people who are right people for us, both in relationships and in our personal lives and our romantic lives, are people who are going to bring out our best. We're going to be the people we're going to feel funny and warm and wonderful around. And they're the people who are going to make us feel good about ourselves. If you're with somebody, across somebody, and you're having your steak and you feel like you're not interesting, you're not exciting, and you're just... you're not feeling good about yourself or this interaction, why would you be there? Why would you continue?
Yeah, which takes me to my next question, which is, what do you do when you suspect someone is wrong for them? How do you get out of that?
Well, in your case, you run out of the back kitchen door.
But what if you're in a relationship and you're dating this guy for a while, it's just not a fit, your values aren't matching up, and you constantly have problems. How do you get out? Is there a purpose, is there a particular way to get out?
Yeah, you go to that person and you say, it's been fun.
Okay.
So you think it's best to be honest up front rather than letting something drag on too long. Because a lot of times what happens is people are in these bad situations and it goes on and on and on because they don't know how to actually get out. How would you get out? Just straight up, hey, this ain't working?
Well, I think that the longer we stay in relationships that are wrong for us, the more we start questioning ourselves, our own sense of worth, and our own sense of value. And if we continue in those kind of relationships, we end up with a lower self-esteem and feeling badly about ourselves. So I think that everybody is ready to get out of a bad relationship at different times. Mm-hmm. But if you really find that this is not working out for you, think about, is it worthwhile? And it might take a while, but I think that the best approach is just to get out while you still feel good about yourself.
Would you think it's an instant message to somebody on AOL is a valid way to break it off with somebody, or do you actually necessarily a text message, or to do it in person?
Well, I mean, it really depends. If this is somebody who's actually abusive and is a horrible person, then you run across the country. Maybe an instant message is the safest way to do it. But
or you can just skip town.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, we're talking with Margarita Rosenfeld. If you're interested in calling and answering a question, give us a call at 866-369-1160. When we come back, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. How accurate are you at knowing how your date is feeling? Actually, if you want to find out about that, you got to visit our website at trytocatchme.com right now.
That's right, WMET1160.com. The new hot dating show, Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. Ritchie, Olivieri, and Janine Driver coming up right after this break.
If you go, then I'll be blue.
Attention men and women suffering from hair loss. Now, with Avicor, a world leader in hair regrowth, you don't have to be bald, even if you have a family history of hair loss. Here's Dr. Mark Goodman, board-certified dermatologist.
The main reason for thinning hair and baldness is hereditary hair loss. Just because there is a family history of hair loss doesn't mean you have to suffer. Avicor is specially formulated to reverse hereditary hair loss and regrow new healthy hair. Our formula targets the hair follicle to effectively stop hair loss and stimulate new hair growth. Before you consider expensive transplant surgery, remember, Avicor is FDA approved to regrow new healthy hair for men and women.
We're giving away a free month of Avicor with all of today's orders. Call 800-449-8917. That's 800-449-8917. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Call 800-449-8917. That's 800-449-8917.
Nino Grease Manile. Grease is catching on. Grease is catching on. Grease is catching on. Grease.
I love when the Grease Man does the quizzes. Nobody wins, but who cares?
I like Lawman because it's wild and it's wacky and it's true to life.
I also like the West Virginia stories. They're hilarious. Yeah. No, well, when I first started listening to him, I didn't really know how to take it all. It took a while to get used to, and then when I started comparing him to the other stations I was listening to, I realized he's so much more funny.
I kind of like his description of his bone dry martini. You know.
What about the doodad? The doodad.
Twiddly, tweedly, tweedly dee. I like lots of hobbly dee.
That's it. More and more people are listening to Johnny Avocado.
Yeah.
Weekday mornings right here on WMET.
Homeowners, are you looking for a way to cut your bills, to save more of your money, to lower your interest rates? Then take advantage of an asset you already have. It's your home. And if you're like most homeowners who want to cut their expenses, one phone call can unlock a huge savings opportunity. Just call Quicken Loans, America's home loan experts. Listen to this. Quicken Loans can cut your mortgage payment up to 35%. Or eliminate your credit card debts with a low-rate home equity loan. Call 800-316-5711. With over 150 loan products, the money-saving experts at Quicken Loans can help you cut your expenses. Spend just minutes on the phone with Quicken Loans. They can cut your mortgage payment up to 35%. Call 800-316-5711. 800-316-5711. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. That's Quicken Loans, 800-316-5711.
We're back with Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase on World Radio WMET 1160 and online at WMET1160.com. Here again are your hosts, Janine Driver and Ritchie Olivieri.
I'm Janine Driver. I do my own sound effects. You know,
Yeah,
I think
you sure do.
It's hack to start using everybody else's. So yeah, I'm psyched that you guys are here and tuning in to Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. We were just talking, if you're joining us, with Margarita Rosenfeld. She's a life coach here in the DC area. Her website, if you want to find out more about her, get some life coaching, is at Of Essence, OFESSENCE. I got to spell it out because if I heard that on the radio, especially with my Boston accent, I'd slam it. It wouldn't work well. And Yes Circle, Yes Circle. Interested to see what that is. .org. And she can help you out with life coaching. She's all kinds of different events coming up. From what I understand, Margarita is she's still here with us. Is you have a peer advisory group coming up with your Yes Circle on April 4th?
Just FYI, the Yes Circle is an organization for entrepreneurs. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, and you're looking for like-minded spirits to connect with and people to network with, that's what that's about.
Beautiful. And is it April 4th? Am I right on that?
It is
Your next
April
event?
4th.
Now, that's a Tuesday from 1 to 3. Now, is there a fee for that? How does that go about?
They can look it up on the website, but I think it's $20 for guests, and it's free for members.
And shout out that website again for our listeners.
www.yescircle.org. And it's only of interest to you if you're a business owner or are thinking about starting a business, like many of my clients.
Okay, and I also see here, boy, you're a busy lady, Margarita. April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. If you're interested in powerful coaching skills for work, fun, and profit. Powerful coaching skills, work, fun, and profit. I'm interested in that.
Well, you should come to that.
I might
I've been
do
to
that.
your classes.
How to earn a great living as a coach. You're over at First Class, which I know is over in DuPont Circle, and they can probably find out more information on your website with regard to that.
Absolutely.
April 22nd, 10 a.m. to 3:30. Wow, that's some class.
And she was also voted a sexy single, too. And boy, I see why, right?
Stop
Look at this.
saying
Look at
that.
this. Look at
Northern
this.
Virginia Mag.
I'm going to say it every segment. I mean,
How do you get? How
Watch
did you
me
get on
blush.
that? How did you get voted? Did someone have to nominate you?
Well, actually, they came to one of my classes. The
Okay.
reporter who did the story, she came to one of my classes, and I was a presenter. And she said, "Would you like to be interviewed for being a sexy single?" And I said, "Yeah, this is going to be really good for my professional life. I'm sure everybody cares to know that I'm a sexy single."
I guess when I
something
teach,
you want to throw up on your resume, right?
when I'm teaching my classes, maybe sweatpants and a t-shirt isn't the way I should be going. I don't think I'm going to be voted sexy single if I keep doing this Boston, dress-up wear.
It should be noted, I was runner-up.
In fact, they almost bumped me for Ritchie, so I'm just glad they
Dun,
did.
dun, dun. Okay, where's the drum roll, people? Hey, we've got some callers in. We have a new segment on our new show for the very first time here today. If you're tuning in, you're talking to Janine Driver, my partner in crime.
Ritchie Olivieri.
And we have the intern here, Sexy Liat. And Sexy Liat. All right, there we go. Cute.
I don't even need to speak. It comes on for me.
You got that right, sister. And we've got call-in comedians. We're going to have this segment every week in Section 3 of our show. So we have on the line, it's a he said, she said kind of a show. And Ritchie, we've got a comedian, a good friend of mine, actually, Terry Moore. She's out of New York City. She's on the line. So she's my East Coast representative.
I'm going to have to side with the New Yorker here on this one, being from New Jersey.
Well,
and I know we didn't introduce Paul Currington yet. Paul, did I get that name right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Out of Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Let me guess, it's raining today.
Yeah, it's raining and we're shooting people. So,
way to go, Paul.
All right, well, since Terry Moore, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic. Let's start with ladies first. Terry, our topic today has been, dating disasters, when you get stuck in a relationship you want to get out of, or even it's a first date and you're kind of stuck and you want to get out of there, or how not to get in them in the first place. Do you have any experience with this, Terry?
Oh, sure. I have tons of experience with that. My God, every time I date somebody, I want to leave.
Give me an example.
I've had that problem, but, it's, so what I do is I live in New York, and one time I actually dated a musician who was about an hour late for the date, and after he came an hour late, he told me they had to pick up some guitars, some very expensive guitars, and we went to pick them up. He kept me in the car. The car was running, and I thought, this is ridiculous. I don't like this date. So I figured, I'm just going to leave the car, leave him, leave the guitars, the expensive guitars, and I hailed a cab.
You left the car running? You left the
What's
car.
that?
You left the car and left it running with this fancy guitar in there and everything.
Yeah. It was kind of a hard decision at first.
That's
Should I
fantastic.
leave this car running with expensive guitars and hail a cab, or should I just stay here? And I just thought, well, he's not being very considerate of me, so, I decided to haul the cab and sneak in the cab and get home.
I think I dated that guy after you, Terry.
Very funny. 866-369-1160. We're taking your phone calls. We're talking to Terry Moore, our East Coast comedian correspondent, and Paul Currington from the West Coast. We also have on the line Radko from Canada.
Radko, you got a question
Go.
there, buddy? Talk to us. Radko from Canada.
What a great show.
Oh, thank you.
How'd you come across the show in Canada?
I wish we had something like that up here.
How'd you find the show, Radko?
It was emailed to me, the link, actually, and so I'm just checking it out, and I thought, I might as well listen to you guys, and it's pretty funny.
Has a comedian ever left you in dire straits with your car running and fancy equipment inside?
No. But actually, I got a question for, is it Margarita?
Yeah, sure, bring it on.
Wow, I like how you say it.
Oh, great. You don't like how I say it, but you like the Canadian.
I do like the Canadian. You should get the Canadian accent.
Yeah, foreigners unite.
She has a hard enough time with the Boston accent.
What's the question? And we're going to get back to Paul in a second, Terry.
It's just regarding my friend, quote unquote. No, actually, it's recently kind of divorced, single dad now. He's finding it pretty hard to, in the dating scene. And I don't know, I just kind of want to help him out. And, is there any, can we do something for our friends?
Okay, are you asking if you can do something for your friend?
Correct, yes. Like, how can I help out? Or, is there... I don't know. He's just finding it pretty hard to, be divorced and have a little kid and, just shuffling around.
I think this is actually a question that one of the comedians should take.
I think Paul Currington has an answer because I'm hearing some male laughter on the phone. Paul, you got a response to help out Radko from Canada?
Yeah, there is no help. If you're a single parent, I'm a single parent. You trade your kid for a dog, you get all kinds of women. I don't... Yeah,
it's pretty tough.
Very, very difficult. Yeah,
if I can respond seriously to this question, or somewhat seriously, or try to be serious.
What would be the point of that?
I have no idea, but this is my professional life, so help me out.
Okay.
I just think, why not offer to babysit for him while he goes out and tries to meet people?
Radka, thanks a lot for the call. I am Ritchie Olivieri, along with Janine Driver.
You're listening to Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. Radko, we were just talking to him from Canada, asked how can he help out his friend. And Margarita came up with great advice, which was maybe offer to babysit for your friend who's newly divorced. And we got Paul Currington here and Terry Moore on the line, our call-in comedians. And Paul chimed in with some really interesting advice. You're a single dad, Paul? How's the dating? Yeah. Have you ever been trapped on a bad date or gone on a bad date?
Oh, man. What I've realized is the best way to end a bad date, an awkward date, and this is how they all get ended with me. Is if you're just honest. I think Margarita was correct. If you're just brutally honest. I was on a date last month.
I didn't say brutally. All
right, that's just my take on it. I was on a date. And I live in a town, it's filled with artists, and I went on a date with a performance artist, and I go, what do you do? And she goes, oh, well, I eat raw meat on stage.
Can I get her number when you're done with her?
Exactly, yeah. Well,
it's a 2-drink minimum, though, to see her.
That right there is wouldn't anyone who wants to go to a clinic 2 weeks later? I had unprotected sex stock and I need to get tested for trichinosis.
I totally disagree with the honesty. I think that you should lie.
Of course, you're a woman.
If you're not happy, get up there with an emergency.
Right, Terry.
Do not be honest. Honesty only attracts weirdos.
That's right. And you know what? Figures the woman would take the BS approach while the man would be straightforward.
Simmer down on behalf of the lying ladies. I think that Terry's got a good approach.
I agree with
Paul. It got me
here.
married, people.
Paul, you got to vote for me here.
Right. I do.
I met a man and I'm engaged now, and he's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. So I've been lying my way through the past 15 years dating, and now I met Mr. Right.
Excellent. We want you to lie to us. Tell us the lies. We're not in this for honesty.
Well, I've been telling my fiance he's gorgeous, okay? So,
exactly.
I'm
you
still lying.
Want honest, look in the mirror. I didn't want a woman who's honest. What's the point of that?
Hey, I got to interject here. This is Janine, host of Catch Me If You Can.
Why? They can have their own show. What are you going to interject for?
No, listen, I know you could have your own show, the two of you. I had a woman visit me recently. I had done business with her years ago with public speaking, and she was in town. I said, you got to come over and meet my husband. My newborn baby's 8 months old. She came over and hit on my husband. She said she'd like to come back with her boyfriend and do a little swinging. Yeah, mind you, she's like 700 pounds, and I looked at her, I go, don't you get it? My husband and I are already sleeping with fat people, each other. Hey, Terry.
Are you sure you have a kid? Are you sure you have a kid, or is it just a couple extra pounds? You lost. It's all.
I have a kid, I'm not sure.
She's over-exaggerating. I wouldn't say she's fat at all. She looks great. Janine does. Janine,
as his nose grows 3 inches.
I'm sorry. What was that?
As your nose grows 3 inches.
That wasn't my nose.
Oh! Take and Catch Me If You Can, the dating show.
Right. What kind of show is this?
Hey,
what a catch.
New York is really happy
Yeah, I knew
now.
the New Yorker would like that one.
Hey, Terry Moore and Paul Currington, we're happy to hear your feedback this week. Thanks so much for calling in. We can't wait to talk to you next Saturday. You really you knocked it out of the park today, guys. Terry Moore and Paul Currington. To find out more about Paul, you can visit his website at themeanestthing.net. Themeanestthing.net.
Don't forget, Janine, when we come back, we'll be chatting with Liat, the smoking hot intern who went on a speed dating, one of these speed dating events. And boy, we can't wait to check that all out. WMET1160.com. Catch me if you can. The dating show that cuts to the chase. Ritchie, Olivieri, and Janine Driver coming right back.
I'm lonely.
Need dependable tires and quality service? Northern Virginians know about Edwards Auto Service Centers. Edwards Goodyear Tire Center on Route 1 in Woodbridge has the reputation of providing outstanding service with the best auto technicians in the area. Steve Pishner is so well respected that he trains other techs. Goodyear tires and quality service you expect from Edwards Goodyear Tire Center on Route 1 across from Marumsco Plaza and Edwards Auto Service Center in Springfield on Backlick Road.
It's a jungle out there with a lot of lion going on.
I'm Janine Driver, the lion tamer. My seminar teaches you to observe body language to ferret out the lies. For instance, a customer may say,
I'll get back to you the moment I get into the office tomorrow.
If you observe his body language, you'll know he's really saying,
I'll get back to you when the first pig is seen flying.
Your ears may hear,
Call me this afternoon to make an appointment.
But your eyes may hear,
This afternoon I'll be on a jet to Pango. Let the lion tamer teach your employees how to survive all the lion that goes on in the jungle. This is a fun, fast-paced training experience that Tony Snow from Fox News calls a force of nature. Jay Schulman from Builder's First Choice says the lion tamer is better than American Idol. Increase sales, motivate your employees, and learn skills you can use in business and your private life.
You're the kind of woman I'd like to get to know better. You're the kind of chick I'd like to take to a motel for a few hours.
Visit online at liontamer.com. That's LYIN tamer.com.
I'll show you how to tame that lion.
Like most people, the biggest investment you'll ever make is buying a home. Whether it's your first home or your fifth, you'll have questions. And for the answers to those questions, check out Real Estate Today, Saturday mornings at 11 on WMET 1160. Real estate executive Donna Evers and home inspector Arthur Lazaro, along with their guest experts, discuss everything you need to know when buying a home. So before you head out to that open house this weekend, check out Real Estate Today with Donna and Arthur right here on WMET 1160.
I am an American soldier.
I am a soldier in the Army National Guard.
I am a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place the mission first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
I am an expert.
I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am the guardian of freedom
and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
Sponsored by the Maryland National Guard. Aired by the Maryland Broadcasters Association and this station.
Let's get back to Catch Me If You Can on World Radio, WMET 1160, and online at WMET1160.com. Here once again are your hosts, Janine Driver and Ritchie Olivieri.
Hey, it's Janine Driver.
I love when you open up with that noise.
Do you like that?
I like it a lot.
It's my monkey noise. It's what I do with my little newborn. He's 8 months old. I hold him upside down and make monkey noises. So I do it all day long. That and have vomit all over me. So those are fun things to look forward to when you're no longer single, people. You're listening to Catch Me If You Can. It's the new hot dating show here on WMET. We're so thrilled that you're listening and tuning in, and boy, do we have some advice for you today. If you're just tuning in, you just missed Margarita Rosenfeld, who's a life coach over in D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia areas. But you know what? I'm pretty certain that Margarita can also talk to you over the phone, because a lot of coaching actually takes place over the phone. So you'll have to visit our website to find out more about Margarita. Our website is trytocatchme.com. Trytocatchme.com. We have all kinds of little contests, and it's just so much fun, Ritchie.
It's the best.
It is. You know what? We have a contest on there, Ritchie, that is 2 people, actually 2 men and 2 women, 4 people are going to win a trip to either Vegas or Orlando, Florida. Oh, yeah, Disney World, people.
Nice.
Oh,
and what
yeah.
do you got to do to win that? What do you have to do?
What they're going to do is by the 15th of April, we're going to post all the information up tax day. We're going to give the singles something fun, right? nice. If you
Right,
don't
so
get a
we
big
haven't
tax
figured out how
break.
we're giving this away yet.
No,
have we?
it's no, we have. What it's going to be reality radio, which is kind of an oxymoron because radio pretty much is reality. But you're going to submit a picture. You'll answer about 8 questions, and we're going to post 20 people, 10 women and 10 men on our website, trytocatchme.com, with your answers to your question. Each week, people are going to vote, and every week, 2 people are going to get kicked off the website.
What kind of questions are we going to ask?
Don't worry about it, Richie.
I'm
You'll see on the
curious
5th.
now.
Well, tune into trytocatchme.com, and you'll see those questions as of April 15th. And not only that, we're going to send one of the interns, probably Leah, out on this.
One of the interns? Do we have any others besides Leah?
We have one, Lindsay, who's not here today.
I have yet to meet Lindsay.
And Margarita's still here waving, hey, I'll be an intern. I'll go to Vegas. So I'm sure your boyfriend would be thrilled about it.
Yeah, she wants to be an intern until she finds out that it doesn't pay a thing, right?
Yeah, Richie, you're right. So what will happen is we'll vote someone off. The intern will go out and we're going to record these dates, and you'll have a date with these blind dates, 2 women and 2 men. Now you'll each have your own little separate room.
Now we're going to do woman, man,
Unless things
man,
really work
woman,
out.
right? We're not going to mix them up and send 2 women out and 2 men out, right?
No,
we're going to get
not.
this right, right?
Yeah, we're not that edgy of a show.
We'll make sure we won't let Matt coordinate it.
Yeah. No, 2 men, 2 women, 1 and 1, and you're going to go on these blind dates. One date will be kind of considered more feminine, and one will be a little bit more dicey, shall I say?
Right, get a little spice involved in it, right? I see where you're going.
No one appreciated that sound effect. Okay, what happened? Where's the dog pound when you need them? All right. Hey, we're listening. You're listening to WMET. If you want to give us a call, because we have a game coming up in a couple seconds here called "Who's Hooking Up with Who in Hollywood?" and it's at 866-369-1160. 866-369-1160.
And this is a game that I know a lot of people are going to really enjoy. This is probably going to be one of the more popular parts of this program, right?
Right, because it's about famous people who's hooking up with who in Hollywood,
Yes.
and you know the rag mags
And
have a
people
different
love
one.
gossip. They love gossip.
They do. It's funny because I love I follow like the whole Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. I like want to be friends with Jennifer someday.
Why?
I don't know, but my best friend says, "Do you live in a reality world or like a dream world?" Because that's never happened.
I'm going to side with Dream World on that one.
Jennifer Aniston, if you're listening, you can give us a call at 866-369-1160 and play our game, Who's Hooking Up with Who in Hollywood. We'd love to hear from you. Angelina Jolie, we're going to pass. All right, so we're here with Leah, the intern. Leah,
hello.
Chat with me a little bit. I understand. Woo! I understand that you just recently went to a speed dating event.
Yes, I did actually a week and a half ago, and it was my first speed dating event I've ever attended, and I have to admit I was pretty apprehensive before attending, and I left actually learning a lot about single life in general and single life in DC. I asked the director why was it so hard for people, I guess in general, to find dates here in DC, and he replied with this.
They're so concentrating in DC on what their jobs are. They're so into their jobs. They're so worried about impressing the boss, improving their career, enhancing their career. They realize that the only people that they're socializing with are other people they work with.
Me. That's pretty much what he said, right?
Yakety, 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 yak. You know, that guy that you were talking with there, although I'm sure he's a great guy, he was supposed to come in. We never heard from him. He disappeared. So, you know, if you want to come in and schedule us a tour, it'd just be nice. Margarita Rosenfels were talking about what's polite and what's not polite. We had the comedians earlier, Terry Moore and Paul Currington, call in. We kind of had the debate, lie or not lie. I don't care. Lie to me why you can't make it. Just call and tell me you can't make it. All right, so that's his little spiel about what's going on in the dating world. Did you talk to any of the singles there?
Oh, I actually did. I asked one of the girls what was the stupidest question she heard during the speed dating event, and she had an actually pretty hilarious reply.
A guy asked me what was my most unusual pet, and his was an anteater named George.
An anteater?
Yeah, I've dated like 5 guys that have had anteaters by weird names like George. So the weird that George for a pet name, that's odd.
Well, you sure she wasn't yanking you? That's
I don't know.
She saw the microphone and said, "Look at this broad over here."
No, seriously, where is she? Was she from Texas? Like, where? I know of alligator pets.
Yeah, because you know all the anteaters that are running through Northeast DC. I'm sure.
And I must say, I'm not a big fan of naming like human being names for pets.
My sister does that. She has a dog named Billy. I want to smack her in the face.
And then they name kids like Waldo or Rover.
Well, you know what? By contrast, her daughter's name is Spot. So okay. I think she mixed it up.
I got to throw in there. This is Janine Driver, host of Catch Me If You Can. If you're tuning in, you can give us a shout out at 866-369-1160
or catch the show on the web, on the internet, as the president would say. The internet's at WMET1160.com, and just click listen at the top of the page.
And we're talking about animal names at the quick second, but my son's name is Angus, and what I understand, Angus is the #1 pet name for a dog.
Is that so?
Angus like the beef. That's my son. So there you have it. Now, all right.
That's how Kobe Bryant got his name, too.
What?
Kobe, as in Kobe beef. His father was stationed over in Japan.
Oh, really?
That's true. I'm not even making that up. I'm not trying to be funny. So back to
it's an ADD moment. Anyone else?
As we slip into our own little world, me and you, Janine.
All the people that have ADD, they're like, I love this show. They totally follow my train of thought. All right, so Leah, so this lady, she went on the stage. She had a pet anteater, was it?
George. No, some guy tried to pick her up with that line, I suppose.
Oh, okay, so
do you know if it worked?
Oh, well, she actually left pretty happy.
Right, so I guess it worked. Remind me.
Do you think you'll come back to one of these events?
Absolutely. I had a good time. I met 10 guys. I'm going out with 3 of them.
So that antleader line, it sure works.
Boy, I'm using that tonight.
That's interesting. Now, did you have fun? Did anyone hit on you? Because you're a young, sexy, hot intern.
Thank you. Oh, you talking to her?
I'm the one that works for free, excuse me.
Yes, you do.
Well, I did, actually. I think I have it on record here.
All right, bring it
What's
on.
your ideal date?
I was thinking like an amusement park would be fun.
An amusement park?
Yeah, do you like roller coasters?
Who doesn't like roller coasters?
I don't. I can't stand roller coasters.
I don't think that's the ride you want to take you on. I think there was like an analogy there.
And that's the guy he hit on you? He hit on you, Leah?
Yeah.
One of the many, yeah.
Excuse me, one of the many. Would you draw a line?
There was a line, yeah.
Do pickup lines?
I believe that, actually.
Do you think pickup lines really work?
No, of course not.
Well, hey, if you want to find out more about pickup lines, you can visit trytocatchme.com. Trytocatchme.com, we have a poll on there. What pickup line would work for you, ladies? We want to know. One of them, which I think would work for me, it's easy. But if a guy walked up to me and just said, Bond, James Bond.
Oh, God, that would work on you?
It would work on me. I'd be like, that's fantastic.
Janine, don't take this the wrong way. You are way too easy. if I'm going to get you by just saying Bond, James Bond,
Dude,
you know what?
women are simple. Ritchie Olivieri, I'm telling you right now.
Simple is an understatement,
Would that work?
Janine.
Because Margarita's sitting here. She's a life coach that was with us here earlier today and chatting about what can you do to get out of a bad relationship or don't get him in the first place. And you just laughed at that. Why?
Because I think that any line delivered with a sense of humor that will make a woman laugh would probably attract us.
Okay, so if I walk into a bar later, right, there's we'll say the hot Leah is standing in the bar, and I open up with a knock-knock joke. You think that's the way to approach a woman like Leah?
No, that's not funny. That's not funny. You know what's funny? You walk over to a woman.
But James Bond is funny? That is not
Ritchie,
funny. I would walk away from a girl who would.
Ritchie, back to me. Yeah, Janine Driver, Lion Tamer, the host.
Me,
co-host, Simmer. Okay. So this is the deal. If you walk over to a girl, you hand her one of those Hershey hugs, and you go, here's the hug. The kiss comes later. Oh, yeah, you got my attention.
All right, now that would work a lot better. I just don't like the James Bond thing. If you have to quote a movie to get my attention,
I love it. I think it's
move
great.
On.
I would vote for James Bond versus the
You
hug.
would. So if you would vote for James Bond versus the Hershey Kiss, then I invite you to go visit trytocatchme.com. And we're going to go into our little contest here. We don't have a caller on the line. It seems like we're having some trouble with our phone lines, but we want you to call back next week. Sorry about that.
You know what we could do, though? I'll tell you what we could do. Since the phone lines do seem like they are down, why don't we play with Margarita?
Okay. Would you mind playing who's hooking up with who in Hollywood?
I don't
she
watch
can let
TV,
Leah
but
be
I
on her
could
team.
try.
Okay.
We can work together.
Yeah, let them do it together.
Okay.
Two brains are better than one.
But
Matt, music.
We promise we'll get the lines up next week.
Who in Hollywood?
Who's beep? Who in Hollywood? Okay, I was talking over that. So play with us here. Okay, it's who's hooking up with who in Hollywood. All right, Margarita. Here we go. The question is, American Idol pretty boy, Ace Young. I don't know if you watch American Idol, so you might have to guess at this. I'm going to go Margarita first. If you can trump her, I'm going to have you interrupt here, Leah.
She might have to trump me because I don't watch it.
Oh, really? So you might have to take a guess. So Ace Young is the pretty boy. It's like long hair. I personally don't think he's that great. All right. Is he hooking up with A, Essence Atkins, B, Jennifer Aniston, C, Halle Berry, D, Nicole Kidman?
I would say A because I don't know that name.
Yes, A is correct.
Wow, she
A is
gets it.
correct.
All right. What do I win?
Life coach. You'll see. We got to do 2 out of 3. Okay, Leah.
I think she means nothing.
I'm ready. Leah. Terry Hatcher is rumored to be. She's from Desperate Housewives. She's rumored to be hooking up with A, George Clooney, B, Colin Farrell, C, Jamie Foxx, D, Ryan Seacrest from American Idol.
Back to the American Idol. I'll have to go with the last one then.
All right. Yeah, Ryan Seacrest. Correct.
Whoa. We didn't think we were that good. Look at us.
Okay,
Two for two. I think we're being hustled here.
Okay, here's the tiebreaker. This is it, ladies and ladies. All right, and it's Kelly Pickler. Kelly Pickler is also on American Idol right now. She's
What is
this
that
blonde,
for the
naive.
American Idol
She said
thing?
Calamare. She's very funny, actually. I like her. She's rumored to be hooking up with A, Simon Cowell, B, Randy Jackson, C, Constantine, a former American Idol contestant, or D, Paula Abdul.
I think I know this one. It's got to be Paula Abdul, because I think everybody in Hollywood or anybody who goes through American Idol eventually gets a chance with her, don't they? She's like the weekly consolation prize on that show. If you lose, guess what? You get to go home with Paula.
Only if you want to launch a rap song.
Or if you want a VD.
The
or
answer, because we're running out of time, everybody, was Constantine, a former American Idol contestant. We're happy to have you here. And you know what you just won? You won a 1 hour life session with yourself. Congratulations.
Yes, I've always wanted it.
Something tells me she'll be able to use that.
You'll have to come back and tell us how it goes. Hey, next week, we're so happy you're here. Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase. Next week, we're going to be talking with a personality expert, Wanda Pease. We're going to find out the differences between how we process information.
Catch Me If You Can, the dating show that cuts to the chase, next Saturday right here on Talk Radio WMET 1160, every week at 3 p.m. I'm Ritchie Olivieri with Janine Driver. We will see you next week.
Over and out, people.
Catch us if you can.